So this is what we're looking like for plugs. Not too bad by any means. Alright, so we got the back all cleaned out. Well, for what it is, it actually turned out really well. See, that's not so bad. It kind of looks like a van. If it had a front grille, a hood ornament, and a rear bumper, it wouldn't look so bad. I mean, it's rusty, but that's okay. Just got a package in from Rock Auto, and it was the timing belt kit for this. And it is the Gates kit, includes the water pump and everything. And then I bought the crank seal and cam seals. The Gates kit's actually really nice. It's got an entire booklet on how to do it for every single application that 3.0 was used, including, Hyundai and everything, Mitsubishi, and obviously the Chrysler stuff. And it's actually pretty in-depth, and it's actually not so bad to do. I mean, I didn't think it was. It's not any worse than timing chain or whatever, but we got to get into this area. Pull this tire off to make it easier. Remove the accessory, the belt splash shield and everything. And then we'll start. I think you got to support the engine, take the engine mount off, all the wiring in that area, and then the covers, and bam, that's it. And we already have the alternator out of the way, so that makes life a little easier. But otherwise, I'm just taking in the beauty of this van. It's a complete rust bucket. I'm with you there. I'm with you there, especially it's really bad, but I'm just looking at it. It doesn't. I don't mind it. Let's take a look in here. How does it smell being empty now? Smells like old musty van. A fond memory of my childhood is what it smells like. I forgot that this is the hood latch right there because the latch is broke. So let me get a screwdriver, get in there. We'll pop the hood. Yeah, you guys really couldn't see that struggle. Well, not really, but the last bolt that holds that guy on goes in sideways right there. And he is no longer a socket size anymore. Anyway, I got it pried down on the way. I think this will do what we need to do for now. I'll try to get it out later, after I remove the AC pump and stuff. That thing's seized, so it's got to go away anyway. But that crank pulley is pretty rough. It's really rusty. That's got to get swapped out, I think. Both pulleys. So we'll pop this pulley off. I believe it's these. Look at the outer pulley, and then there's bolts underneath for the inner. I'll give that a shot. I'm just going to start working on it. I think that'll work. 12 millimeters seems to fit pretty snug. So we'll try that. Do you think these come out? Oh, it spins the damn motor over. Great, damn motor's too free. Pry bar and bigger ratchet. Okay. Now we show you what's up. Yeah, there we go. Didn't even need the stupid screwdriver. Just need some more leverage. And we're going to do some hammering until this thing comes off. Oh, it made a different noise. Got it. That's pretty bad. We don't need that. Not where we're going. Look at this. That's the pulley. Or both of the pulleys. Now, I believe that one is just that big bolt. So, the question is, how do I hold the crank? Oh, you know what? I know how to do this. Okay, chill out, guys. I know how to do this. I can do this. There we go. I think the impact's dead. Yeah. I'll go get a different battery. Doesn't seem to make a difference. So, what do we do about that? There we go. There it goes. I got it moving. Got it. Like that's beyond trash. Harmonic looks okay though. Good. Hello. Hello in there. Oh God. I have bracket. In theory, you'd want to bolt up 2 of them so it won't spin. We're not going to do that because I'm going to learn the hard way because I'm lazy. And we're just going to bolt this one right up to it. And hopefully it wedges against something. But to be honest, it doesn't... Oh yeah, well, it'll wedge right up against the AC that is seized. That is great. Okay, will this do anything? I doubt. As you can see, it is spun free now because it sucks. Dang it. Yeah, so I gotta rethink this. I might have to drill a hole in it is what I gotta do, I think. Okay, so I've ruined that screwdriver. And so what I've come up with is a bigger breaker bar and a torch. Okay. Hell with you. Okay, I'm not asking anymore. Is that gonna damage anything if that slips? No. Well, I hit something. Yep. So, there's a screwdriver. Neat bigger screwdriver. I am not asking. More heat. Wouldn't you know it, the second I turned the camera off to talk to my dad about it, he's like, try the impact again. I'm like, I've already done that. And it whizzed right off. I guess the heat with the impact is all it like came off easy. That ratchet's broke, by the way. The teeth are skipping. Yeah, and then the damper comes right off, naturally. And there it is. It's out. Crazy. That's out of the way. Now it's just covers and stuff. So we were sitting here looking at this, and I was looking at the back door, and I noticed that it was kind of popped on the back, so I popped the latch, and it kind of moved, and I got it to move, and I pulled the latch, pulled on the back of the door, and kind of pushed, and I got it to go open. And the rollers look okay. It's just a handle, and this is stuck in there is what it is, but we're going to get in here, and we're going to spray everything now that it's open. That roller real good. Get over here and get this roller. That roller actually looks perfect. And drip it on the carpet, but that's okay. Get in here, get at this roller. That hinge, get the lock. And then if we can get in with this handle, I kind of moved it a couple times. It's kind of moving now. So we'll get the straw. Here, hang on, bear with me. Oh, and I lost part of the door when I was doing that. That was bound to happen. We'll sell that on eBay. All right, got this. Now we can get it. Don't know what we're hitting, but hopefully we're hitting something. And just kind of go in there. And then maybe, just like that. Roll the door a little bit. Do we try it? And that did not shut at all. Okay. Nope. Now the latch. Oh, because the handle's open. Duh. There we go. Oh, she's mint. Good. So what I'm going to do now that works, is I'm going to put a cardboard mat here and start putting parts in here. But bam, now all the doors work. So cool. All right, got that pulley out. That's just 3 bolts. And I'm going to do the tensioner next. Got that idler to do as well. And then I think I'll pop the AC compressor off. I might as well pop the lines out, get them out of here. You know, don't really need them right now, considering they don't work. And then that'll be all out of the way. And then I think it's just the motor mount. And then we've pretty much got access. So that's not bad at all. Okay, look at that. Got it loose. So we've got a bolt and a nut that might come out as a stud. And then we have a bolt and a nut down below that you can get at pretty easy. And it's loose. And if you were normal, you would have connectors to unplug here and then a low pressure sensor on the line. Mine is eaten off. So my AC should just come out. I'm going to finagle this out of here, but it's out. We have just done a full AC delete. I'll probably even pull the dryer off here because it's going to get replaced. And the only things we're going to leave are the evaporator and the AC rad. So, or the condenser, I guess you want to call it, right? Whatever, AC parts gone, out. Got it in one piece. As you can see, lines all still hooked up because I wasn't getting them off that compressor. Not easily, and like definitely not easily because they're like corroded as heck on there. And yeah, look at this. Look how expanded that is. Like, that is junk. The pulley's gone. Yeah, no shot in saving that one. You know, hang on to the parts. There's a bracket here. That was what that wire harness clipped to. That goes on the one with one of the bolts. Here's all the AC bolts. I will kind of keep them together. Probably with the dryer when I pull that off. But we'll set it in here in the parts pile. We're getting there. Look at all the space. You can see it now. So this next is this motor mount's got to come off. So we'll get a jack under here and a board on the oil pan. And then after this is off, there's a front bracket here that all the pulleys and accessories mount to, including the power steering pump, it looks like. I don't know if the pump is secured in any other spot besides those 2 bolts or what, or if that's it. We'll see. We'll get to that next. I hear somebody spinning tires. I just heard them floor their car. They're like 10 miles out across the ravine that way. I just heard them do a burnout. I got that lower cover off. So with the AC out of the way, I was able to get in there with like a vice grip, and I was able to get that bolt to go and spin out. Hey, what did I just find? What is this? Sure looks like the alternator bolt, doesn't it? Did I drop that? I could have. Well, there. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen it. Well, I must have dropped that before or whatever. Yeah, anyway, that's all gone. You can get in here real good now. See all the way down. I got a jack stand up under there, so I got my jack free. Now we're going to go up under the oil pan over here after I get these tools. I also picked up all the tools and stuff and got them put away in here. But I'll get a board up under here. I'm going to support the oil pan, and then we are going to unbolt this guy, which is, I guess, would it be easier to unbolt this, and this bolt? Or might it be easier in our case to do these? I'll just do those and leave this all as one assembly. That's what I'll do. But that's what I'm going to do next. It's dark, so I'm just going to work. I'll bring you back when I got that out. Alright, got that out. Some of the bolts fought me a little harder than the other ones, mostly because the heads are rotted off, but we got them all out. Got the motor mount out. Now it's just this bracket right here, which most of the bolts are out of it, because most of them are shared. Does this bolt need to come out? I don't think so. I think that's part of the cover here. Yeah, so we've got 2 bolts right there that look rotten as heck. There's one down there, one there, and then 2 under there. I'm going to get those out, and I think that'll be the last thing I do tonight, because that should... Oh, no, we got to remove the AC bracket, too. It looks like you could see by the way that it is, that it's in the way. But actually, does that need to come out before that metal bracket does? I bet you it does. Okay, well, I'm going to look at those 2 brackets, and I'll bring you back. Alright, I did get them all out. And this guy's loose now. I had to tap on him because he's got these like long stud looking things. But the power steering pump pulley is in fact in the way. So we got to figure out what is still holding him on and how to remove it. Well, it looks like it's going to be a nut on the back side. So we'll pop that nut off. Drop the power steering out of the way. And that should release that bracket. Okay, so I got that nut to come off the pump. Holy crap, the pump is rotten. The top of the pump just rotted off. That's the first time I had the light in here. I got the nut off and the whole bracket fell, but unfortunately I think the pump is shot. I mean, there's fluid in it and it spins okay, but something tells me that that pump is not in good shape. And I can't quite place my finger on it. How do I set this thing so it doesn't drip all the fluid out of it right now? Because it is still full of fluid. And it does pump. I can see it kind of doing something. Oh, God. Well, add that to the long list of parts. Yes, you don't got power steering. But, and I don't know where that nut went. It kind of just went with it in that pile of debris. There, this bracket's off. I do believe this bracket is okay. Something's not rusted off of this vehicle. Weird. Our pile is just getting kind of everywhere here. Let's take all of this hardware out. I mean, I guess I'll get a new nut with the new power steering pump I pull. I figure that, right? Unless I got a pump. I don't think I have that style, because that's a 3.0 pump. They're different. Yeah. Okay, that sucks. I do believe that part comes with the pump. That's, you know, there's the pump. Nice. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad this van was free. And not $100 like it was supposed to be. Oh! Okay. I don't know where that nut went. It's gone. I don't really care, to be honest. I gotta figure out what to do with this pump. Can we just, like, go away? If we do that, it's gonna tip, but it's okay. It's away for now. I know before we put it back together, I figure you can get in there while it's all together, and it looks like you can push the pump out that way. So I would think you could do the pump with all this stuff on, but it also probably wouldn't hurt to just do it while it's out. So I'll see if I can source a pump. But hey, look at this. We can see in this plastic here, you can see the timing belt, which is full of rust and stuff. I mean, it's still a belt, but it's in there. You know, how hard is it to just pop this cover off quick so we can look at it? I'm already here, right? But yeah, like you can see it in there. And there's, you know, like stuff and things in there that should not be. It looks like a bunch of 10 mil or 11 mil or something hardware. I might give it a shot here, but boom. Look at that. Come on. Oh, I broke the fucking timing cover. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Yep. 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 That's what I wanted to see. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not in time. I did hear it snap. I thought I heard it snap. Ooh, great. How do I retime that? Told you I heard it break. I knew I heard it snap. Anyway, that just shows you that it is in fact a non-interference, which is why we could spin it over. So I bet you all the valves are closed on this one, but that'll do it every time. Yep, look at that. It almost looks like an old brake, doesn't it? It doesn't look new. Might know why it got parked. What? I said I might know why it got parked. Why is that? Broken timing belt. Oh, it's broken? And it does. It's snapped right off, and it to me it looks old. It looks like an old brake. That might be why she got parked. You got the cover off? Well, I got the front cover off here, and I noticed it wasn't on the cam pulley.
I thought it was all one cover.
No, it's in like 3 pieces. See, that looks like an old brake to me. Yeah. So that to me, I mean, I want to see the other side of the belt. That looks like an old brake. I mean, to be honest, the belt doesn't look like, you know, super dry rotted or wore or anything, but I mean, judging by the rust underneath the pulley, maybe, I can't quite, I'm not certain, but the way there's rust underneath this pulley here tells me that the belt wasn't really on it. You know what I mean? Cam spins free. Yeah, so no problems there. But, like, it just, to me, looks like an old brake. Granted, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to finish pulling these covers off. Too bad, though, this screw on this plastic cover, this ripped apart there because it's rotten. So I don't know what we'll do about that, if we'll just ignore it or just put the 2 screws back in or what. Cross that road when we get to it. But we got 2 more covers to pull. Okay. That looks really nice. So that one, you know, it's on there, but like you can see where it clearly isn't. I give up at this point. So I need you to give me light so I get to see firsthand. So please come off. Yeah. The ones that are into the aluminum case aren't going to fight me. So it's great. But I think we're going to have to go back to the U-pull now that we're going to get a fat list of parts here. Kind of like all the tins and stuff, and extra hardware would be nice. Considering. Okay. Who's next? One down there. Yeah, it doesn't look very nice, I'll tell you that much. No, it doesn't. Like, even the cam pulleys are kind of like, ooh, why would you run a new belt on that rusty pulley? I don't think so. So, like, we might even need, like, the cam pulleys and stuff. Which, I mean, kind of sucks, but whatever. So, we're off down here. There's got to be one down here still. Yep, I can feel him. Alright. Oh, that doesn't feel very good. Nope. There's some sort of metal seal or cover here. That needs to come off. Yep, come on. Come on, out you come. Snapped one. Oh, there's one in the middle there too. Except now I gotta get this out of this socket. That might prove to be an issue. Okay, we're gonna go find the non-deep well 10 because I'm too lazy. And I really just want to be done like tonight, but I'm right there as far as finishing this goes. So let's get her done, and then I can acquire a full list here. I can see what I can buy and see what I need to go to U-Pull for. Might have needed the 3/8 for that one, but oh, there it goes. Is there any more that need to come out besides that? Sure looks like it. Can I get down here and look? Yeah, there's the broken one. Well, I don't think there's any more. I think that's it. I think it's stuck to the stud. It totally is stuck on this stud, this broken one. There we go. Yeah, so that's the only one left. So that's kind of really annoying, actually. Oh, that's right. We still got to pull the water pump out of this thing. And that looks super, super healthy looking. Yep, what do I do about this? Because, I can't heat it because we'll ruin this plastic cover. And I might be able to spray in there. Let me go spray that, and I'll see about trying to get it out. It is what it is. If I snap it off, it is what it is. I got that bolt out, but it took threads with it. That was why it was pissed. I don't know how actually important that bolt is. We're going to consider it probably not. But we'll try to put a new one in it. But, yeah, so that's why it spun free, because it was completely off the crank. Anyway, let's inspect. Yeah, like that totally looks like an old brake to me. That doesn't look fresh at all. Yeah, that's a brake. And to me, judging how the rubber is and looks, that is an old brake on the timing belt. I'm going to say that this was probably parked for a broken timing belt. So that probably means everything else is fine, but hey, 82,333 miles. At the time, I believe, 2001 plus 5 is 2006. It was 14 years old at the time, I would say, because it was parked in 05. On its original belt. And it snapped for one reason or another. That's what I would like to say. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Somehow this water pump feels perfectly fine. Oh, I can even hear coolant in the block. Kind of sounds like water moving around. Be good if there's coolant in the block. Idler or tensioner pulley. Shot. Yeah, we'll have to come in here and blow all this corrosion and dust out. Yeah, look how corroded the water pump is. That's the water pump in here. It's got a blue mark on it. That's probably, an original factory mark. Oh! Ooh, 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 ooh. Ow. Did you see that? That cam got me. Oh, it busted my nail off. Oh, no. That's not good. That hurts really, really bad. Luckily, I think it only got my nail. Did you see that? that was sprung loaded from compression. And I touched it and it moved. Oh, I'm done for the night. Thanks, guys. I didn't cut my finger. I just ripped a nail off. Ow. Okay, I'm going to keep looking at this until the pain kicks in. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Yeah, so, safe to say, that spin's free. So, that's good, I guess. It's not bleeding so bad. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, I'm done.
The next day.
Alright, so, some morning here. My poor finger is absolutely in pain. I did not get any sleep last night. So, pro tip, when you go to spin your cam gear, don't stick your fingers up here, in case it's stuck and it pops like that. That hurt like hell. Anyway, these cam gears are pretty bad looking. I would argue that they could possibly maybe should be replaced so it doesn't wear the timing belt. I'm going to get an air compressor in here. I'm going to kind of blow everything out. I want to see how this tin comes off because I like to replace it so the cover has something to adhere to, but I don't know how it comes off. It might just be pressed in by the cam gear. And then we got to get the cam gears off because we do got to do the seals behind them. At least that's what I was planning to do. And I think the best way to go about that is to wrap the old timing chain around a cam gear, around the crank, and then you vice grip it. And so when you go to spin it, it sticks. And that'll let you back that bolt off. So I'd like to get them off and inspect them, and then go from there. And I was looking at this vacuum line up under here. This isn't it is a vacuum line. It's for the fuel rail, I believe. It's got a rot hole in it right here. So that might need to be addressed. I'm sure the fuel rail is great and the injectors are perfect, right? Just like the 93 was. Needs a power steering pump. Needs front right brake line and everything. Yeah, it needs some work. So I'm going to get the air compressor out here and just kind of blow this off and, see what we're working with under all that corrosion and junk. And we'll go from there. Okay, got it all blew out the best I was gonna. I started hitting everything with fluid film, just to give it a chance. And the crank sprocket came right out. Don't want to lose that keeper pin. I don't know if that's stuck in there. I think that's just in there. Good. But the crank gear came right out. Just popped screwdriver behind it, which worked out better than I figured. I figured it'd be stuck on there, which thankfully it wasn't. Yeah, it's as clean as the inside of this engine is, the outside is pretty dang rough. So, let's see if I can pop these two cam gears off quick. That'll tell me what I need to know as far as parts I need to pull, because you can't just buy it. I mean, you can buy like performance gears and stuff, but does this really need performance cam gears? I don't think so. So we'll probably go pull these at a yard, which means we got to do all this work again. Plus, I got to have a motor hoist or something wedged under the oil pan to pop the motor mount off. So I was going to pop that cam gear or crank gear back on so I could, wedge the belt on it. And wouldn't you know it, that keeper does come out, as they should. Anyway, it decided it didn't want to stay around when I put the gear back on. And it got absolutely, well, I thought it was on, and then clearly it wasn't, and it got launched into oblivion, and I don't know where it went. I tried blowing all the dust out of here and all the leaves, and he gone. That keeper is gone, which is just what you need. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to try to wrap the belt around the other cam gear and lock it up that way, because we'll grab a keeper from the gears we pull at U-pull. So, whoops, I guess. Whoops is correct, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, dang it. Don't do what I did. Don't be stupid. And it's funny, as I heard it, I thought it hit a leave. and I've yet to find it. I don't know. You know, ideal working space or something. You know, if I had a concrete floor, I bet you I could pick it out. But here we are. So it took a couple tries of testing a couple things and holding this while tightening them. And the setup I got right now is what broke this one loose. So it's loose. Now we got to break the other one loose doing the same thing. So we better off, you know, it might just work right now if I leave it hooked up. So I'll try that. Otherwise I got to readjust and we'll go from there. But I got that one broke loose. All right, all the gears are off. Looks like it's just 3 10mm bolts that hold this little tin on. Good. So that'll be no problem to get out of the way. Obviously, we still got the tensioner and stuff that's on there. We didn't need to take that out because our belt was already snapped. So, yeah, I mean, it's out. Call that what you will, it's out. Okay, that's the bolt for the tensioner pulley. And I got it out, but it took threads with it. Not good. I think that cover at the bottom is replaceable, so the cover is threaded into. So in theory, we might be able to pull that whole cover. But yeah, it took a lot of heat, fluid film. Did get it out, but I thought it was gonna break. That's not a good bolt to be having issues with. So yeah, there she sits. All right, let's try to knock this pulley off that's burning hot. I think it's still spring loaded, huh? It's probably a good idea, right? How does that come out? Oh, that means being replaced, but how you come off? Oh, I suppose the little guy stuck on the boss for the spring tensioner. Get off of there. There it goes. Is the spring hot? No. So we can grab it by the spring. Yeah, so that cover I think is possibly removable. How do the threads look? They look like I could probably rethread that and it'd probably be okay, but then again, it's your timing belt tensioner. So I don't know how much rethreading you want to do there. But it's out, okay. Yeah, that cover is definitely replaceable. So it's not the end of the world. Got to drop the oil pan and stuff to do it, though. I'll probably grab that cover just in case at the U-pull. No, water pump. Now, hopefully, they don't fight me like that. I not hoping not to have that fight me like that. That would not be good. All right, all the water pump bolts didn't fight me at all. I had one 10mm that was rusty, and apparently there's coolant in the block because it's starting to weep. So I'm gonna get a pan in here, and we'll just try to tap that water pump off real quick. It's probably a good thing there's coolant in the block, kept it from corroding or rusting. Which probably means the lower rat hose is intact, I would think, right? I don't know, I haven't looked over there. Okay, got a pan under there, here goes nothing. And I'm not saying I got all the bolts out. I think I did. But I'm also... No, I see a bolt right there. See that? Come back. Welcome back. I see a 10 right there. I'll get him out. Yeah, that makes sense. They're not all out, dummy. Busted my screen protector on that fall. Better in the screen, I guess. But there. How about now? Oh, it made a different noise. I see it separating. Come on. Don't hammer on a water pump if you're reusing it, by the way, if that isn't clear. You know, because that's would be really good for it. Oh, look at that weird gunk coming out of that one hole. I don't know. Okay. I'm sure it's on like studs or something, you know. Oh, I got it to wiggle a little bit on the bottom. Hopefully there's not a bolt on top up here. Like there totally could be. I don't feel one though. you know. I think it's just on there. If I get a vice grip on that guy right there. Oh. No, it feels like there's a bolt up top somewhere. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Where's he hiding? Oh, I see him. He's under this cover, so we gotta get that rusty thing out of there somehow. How's the guy do that? Because the bolt for that looks like it's sideways right here, doesn't it? Doesn't have to pull like this intake or thermostat out, do you? There's no way, right? I don't remember reading that. Well, let me do some looking. Okay, I got that guy off. It's like they're half inch or 15-30 seconds, depending on how rusted they are. Bolts in there, one back there on that bracket, which requires moving the dipstick for the power steering, which is needed to be gone anyway. And then there was under, I don't know if it's like a MAF sensor, or something. It's some sort of sensor here. I had to undo him to get a bolt under here, and then it came out. And look at all this junk we have in here. Yeah, touch all this with my hand. Yep. Especially the hand that's injured that the Band-Aid just fell off of. I'm very healthy, as you can see. I'm very worried. I should blow that out, but there's one bolt for the water pump right there, and that's our guy. But I'll dust this back out, and we will go ahead and get that water pump off, and then it is disassembled. Besides the seals, which those are going to be fun to get out too, but worry about that later. Something tells me we're about to open a whole nother can of problems behind here. So I was sticking the screwdriver in while blowing everything out, and there's a lot of really fluffy corrosion in there, which is usually indicative of like coolant corrosion. I wonder if the back of this water pump is, leaked into the intake or something, or like into the valley down there. That's a fuel injector, that rusty thing right there. Might as well pull the lower intake off that motor at the yard too. Probably gonna need it. I'm gonna get this water pump bolt out. We'll see what it looks like in there. I was wiggling it and that little boss came off, but look at what just came out of it. Oh no. I got that bolt out and it's kind of wiggling free here, but it's clearly stuck on something. So it needs a little persuasion here. Screwdriver, I think. Let's come in right here. Here it goes. Okay, so it wasn't full of coolant, but it had something in it, I would say. I don't know what. We're stuck on something here with a hole. Hopefully that's not like a broken bolt or a stud or something. But that's all it's stuck on right now. What is that? That just broke off. What is this? Okay, somebody tell me how bad I just messed up. Well, like, I couldn't have though. Oh, it is a stud, and the casing part broke off. So it's just a stud here that was just welded to the casing of the water pump. That doesn't look very nice, does it? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Healthy motor, right? Healthy motor. Healthy in the cylinder bores, maybe. To my surprise, the thermostat housing actually unbolted. And, left all this behind. Alright. You've done your service of keeping everything out of there. Actually looks nice in there, in the aluminum side. Obviously decent and clean. So the cooling system was clean when it was probably parked, which doesn't surprise me, but It has since deteriorated. So what we're going to do is stick a hose right down that, and we will let it flush itself. Okay. Here you go. That's our good reusable one. Yeah, I'll be right back with the hose. So you know, this good motor, the only reason that I'm really attempting this really isn't all that nice, is it? Okay, enjoy. Oh, green coolant coming out. Okay, maybe it's just a little bit, you know, right where the openings were. That doesn't seem that bad. It's coming out clear. Kind of hose this down into here, which is where we got problems. Okay, that's not that bad. Here's our opportunity to hose this thing down. That's not that bad. Okay. Makes me feel a little better, actually. How about all the dirt down there? There we go. Get all that out of there. Goodbye. Look at the roots. So we're washing all the dirt out, and there's just plant roots in between the rack and pinion and the subframe. Come on, out you go. Eviction day. Go back up in here, wash all this out. Keep in mind, all the oil areas are still all sealed up, so this shouldn't have a problem. Is that a mouse body that just came out of there? Oh gosh. Go back in here. Flush that hole out down there in between the intake. Looks like it's coming out the other side, clear, as you can see. We've got a river flowing now. We've escalated this, clearly. Clearly it's needed. Oh, great, now I'm stepping in it. Let me address that and put some like boots on, and I will come back. Meantime, here, we'll water the yard. Hey look, a control arm under all that mud. Never forget to wash all of the mud out of your subframe yearly. Hey, there's a socket, see it? That's my socket. Get out of there. Now I have to try to fish that out of there. Look at those, it's all roots in there. It's all roots, all the dirt's gone, it's all roots. That's insane. I don't see any big holes in the subframe though. So that's, take that for what you will. Damn it, I just splashed all the tools. Ew. Gotta wash all the mud out of the cat. I got a feeling before we run this, if we get to that point, have to cut that cat off because it's probably full of dirt and mud, just like the exhaust. And that will probably not be good. Yeah, that open wiring harness right there, yeah, let's just soak that down real quick. So as for the cooling system, it doesn't seem that bad. That side's still got some color to it a little bit. This side's flowing clean. There we go, back flush it like that. Flush this side. It seems to be flowing water okay, so that's a good thing. Get all this area, get all down there. Might as well fill the rat up. Oh, look at that. It was full. That's being put into a pan and disposed of in an environmentally friendly manner. So the rat had juice in it, so the lower hose is still good. Good, I don't need to buy a lower hose. And that's flowing clean, actually. Just surprising, to be honest. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as we thought. Okay, it's coming back out the radiator. Look at that. And it's flowing clean. Oh, and it's coming out the heater core lines over there. How's the heater core look? Oh, God. Should we try it? Yeah, let's try it. If I can get the... Oh, look, the heater core's flowing clean. It flows good. You know, all those exposed broken wires? Yeah, it's good for them, too, by the way. Okay, well, there. As terrible and cruel as that was definitely necessary. I went in with the air compressor and I blew out some of the plugs and stuff and just knocked all the residual water off. Water isn't inherently a problem to electronics unless there's power. So, we gotta go through it all anyway. Give it time to dry out here. No big deal. I still got to dig all of that out, but we'll deal with that when we deal with that wiring harness. We can see this side of the engine, and it's proper now. It wasn't as dirty as I thought. It was just in the water pump area and the thermostat area where air got to them, I guess. So there, cooling system's flushed. There's water in the rat, I guess, technically. I'll have to pop that hose off at some point, but there. Alright, so we're on this 95 pulling parts. As you can see, I got the intake out. I got the upper, lower. I'm not taking the upper, but I do think I need the lower, considering how poor mine is. But this 95 that was running recently had a giant mouse nest under here. You know, as is tradition. Yeah, so I bet you that's about what mine looks like, you know, naturally. But what I'm looking here is I think you can replace the back part of that like water pump thing that mine was all corroded really bad. This whole bracket looks like it actually comes out. That whole coolant hose. Probably a good idea to grab it. Would be my guess. So I probably will do that, but we have a mouse nest in the way of ours here. Ew. You know, that's how you start a fire right there. How were you going to know that was in there? And that's fire right there. And then you get, you know, a little bit of oil leak here, a fuel leak or whatever. Bam, that's it. Anyway, now I know what kind of gaskets I need too. So I'll have to get like an intake gasket kit. These all came off in one piece. Here. Alright, cool. Grabbing all the hardware, as much of the hardware I can save. Now I gotta be careful when I do mine. It's got lock washers here. You don't want to drop those lock washers down there like I just about did. Granted, in this engine, it don't really matter. Yeah, so I think we're gonna grab that whole hose assembly or pipe, coolant pipe. That would be probably a very good idea. Anyway, that's all off. So now I gotta start working on timing and all that, accessory drives and belts and pulleys and stuff. Uh-oh, there goes a cop through the intersection out there. Probably, what, Highway 3 out by here, out in front of Rosemont. Whatever it is, 46 and intersection of 3. Figured I'd give you all an update on where I'm at on this 95 Caravan and essentially making it ready to be pulled. I pretty much think the only thing holding it is, what, one bolt on this motor mount and the trans mount, and it would probably literally come out. Oh, yeah, pretty much. So, I got the timing system exposed. That looks like a new water pump and everything. New spring, new tensioner. The belt looks pretty decent, so it's probably had timing belt done recently. The gears are perfect, which is what we were looking for. I've got a fat pile of parts. It's kind of sprinkling, so I put that over the important stuff, all the wire harnesses. We can't do the top wire harness off this van because this has got the fuse panel. The 91 still had all of the random fuses up on the sides and stuff. So I don't even know if the lower harness will work, but I bet you we could piece it together if nothing else. They're not that much. They're like $5 a harness. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, and this is a Gates belt. I can see it on it. So it's got a Gates timing kit in it. Probably the Gates water pump and everything too. Pretty much new. So we actually have to untension this the right way since we've got a belt that, you know, is kind of tight-ish. Or we could just pry on the crank pulley and just let it go. But I think we just undo the bolt for the tensioner and it should loosen it up. But I think before we do that, let's pop these loose while it's still together. That would probably be the smart play. So we'll hold one against each other. I think that's the smart play. And then it's just steal the pulleys, steal all of the water pump bolts, unbolt the water pump, take this coolant hose. And I think I've run out of things to steal on this it's literally ready to just be pulled. Poor 3.0 and this poor Caravan. Mine should be in this spot, and I'd rather have this motor, even if it's high mile. Well, I kind of like it's only got 82,000 miles, but, you know, it's got all new accessories and everything attached to the block, but, you know, 82,000 mile block. All right, it's sprinkling again. It's not raining too bad, but we're supposed to get some rain today. Here we are. Back to it. That's going to cost an arm and a leg. But safe to say, I think I know how these 3.0s come apart now, considering I've done 2 today. Remember how our water pump broke off? That whole back piece is supposed to come off with it, and it didn't. So, good to know. I think the new one I bought came with this back piece. See? It's that little screwdriver. That's what broke off on ours. So, we're fine. Somehow, this van is full of stuff again. This time, useful stuff. We got new gaskets and stuff, and we've got all of the stuff we harvested off of that 94 that hopefully, or 95, I keep saying it's a 95 that we at the U-Pull yard that hopefully will help us here. It's super warm out today, and today I think my job is get this intake out and off, get all of that crap pulled apart, get it dropped down, or pulled down to that water neck and, you know, that lower valley there, clean that out, get that old coolant pipe out of there, get the back part of that water pump out. That back part of the water pump actually comes off. It's supposed to have come off with it. Clearly it's stuck to the water pipe or something. So remember we broke that tab off. That's actually just a Phillips driver that holds it together, holds the two pieces of the pump together. I learned that when we took the other one apart. So that's cool. That whole thing gets replaced, so I don't have to worry about that corrosion that's on there. But this piece we did not end up getting because you got to pull the oil pan. I'm betting that the oil pickup tube or something is attached to it in the pan, and we had tires under the pan at the yard, so we couldn't pull it. But I'm curious if this will pry off of here. It wants to move a little bit, but it's stuck. Yeah, we'll worry about that when the intake's off. And what I realized is that all of this stuff goes back together better when the intake's off, or it comes apart better, so I figure it'll go back together better. So we can have the whole intake off and reassemble this side, which will be nice, and then put the intake back on. But yeah, we got to get all of that apart. We still got to get the seals out, and then we got to sand down those that crank or cam, the snouts of the cam, because that's pretty bad. And technically it doesn't matter because it's not touching anything, but we don't want it to like seize the pulleys to it or whatever. So we'll deal with that. And what else? What else? After that, we got to start going through the wiring, get all the wiring in here done, fix as much as we can find, which is a lot. And then I also have the lower harness for it, but I don't know if it is going to be the correct harness because 95 is different. I believe in 93 they switched from having 93 or 94, probably 94. They switched from having all of the random relays everywhere as more and more computerized stuff kept getting added to a fuse panel, which is located right here. So we didn't get the upper harness because it wouldn't have even been close. We did get the lower harness because they all plug in right here, and it could be the same, or it could be close enough that we can make it work. We'll see. I grabbed it. At the very least, we get all the pigtails and stuff off of it. We get extra chunks of wire, and they're only like $6 a harness, so that's great. And we did pull the injector harness and everything. I don't know how much of that we'll need, but I also plugged it back in, so that was free. That came with the other harness. That's all one harness, right? We've also got to get the lines off that power steering pump, get that pump out of there. It's still full of fluid, I think. You can see it's weeping, but it's still full. Among other things. I'm just going to put you on the tripod. I'm going to turn the music on. I'm just going to get this apart. Well, got that upper intake off. We had to back that stud out with a vice grip. That's no problem. The new lower comes with... Why did that just turn on? Whatever. The new lower intake that we got comes with the studs. It has it on it. We got most of the lower intakes out. I broke these two. Just nothing I could do about it. So I think, if I recall correctly, this should come off now if I hammer it. So we'll try that quick. I blew this out best I can. We got to try to keep stuff from getting in there, but there's only so much I can do. I'll have to like vacuum the cylinders out. The valves should all be shut because the cams are loose because the timing belt's undone. So the valves should all be shut. We should be able to vacuum anything back out, in theory. In theory. So we're going to find out. Okay, that is seized on there. I would say that's seized on there pretty good. That's a problem. I'll see what I can do to loosen that up. I don't know about that. That's not good. Well, what it is it's seized to the steel studs. They've expanded. That's the same reason the intake was stuck. The upper intake. I think it should be just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be it. I was looking at the other. We must have moved that side because we popped that washer off the broken bolt or something. That's popped loose. That lock washer moved because it's got lock washers. So. Okay, for anybody that is questioning why that lower intake has to come off, this is why. I just fought getting the back of that water pump out, and there's pieces left behind. That was already broke before we got to it. That was already leaking. It corroded at some point while it was sitting, and that leaked. That's why we had all that fluffy corrosion behind it. So here, I haven't even looked down here with a flashlight. You tell me how bad it is. Yeah, look at that. So that lower valley is packed with stuff. And that hose is corroded in there, as you can see. Hopefully the structure of the block here isn't compromised or leaking or anything. That would be a problem. But I'll have to scrape around, but I might be able to get in here now with a bar and pull up on the lower intake from underneath here. I can fish a bar through it. Luckily ours doesn't look like it's got any nesting or anything under it. But yeah, this was a problem right here. That was a huge problem. That still is. That's a big problem. I can't get that off. This motor ain't gonna run. So, and I'd really like to have the 82,000 mile block working.
that would be very nice. Please and thanks. I would appreciate that. That's kind of the whole point here, is to get that one to run. I ain't giving up yet. I might be getting close to giving up tonight on this thing, but it's gonna have to sit and soak or something. I don't know. But it's just those 8 nuts on those studs. There's a couple forums posts, people using an engine hoist to hook to it and lift it off, which we might have to do. We'll cross that road when we get to it. Yeah, we're not trying to save this intake either, so we don't have to be gentle to it as long as we don't damage the heads or the block or anything beyond repair. I'm going to keep prying at it. That's our biggest roadblock right there. Oh boy, I didn't expect it to be stuck like that. I didn't expect it to be that bad, but it's bad. Okay, so that rail's got really gross smelling gas in it. But it still looks and smells like gas, but it's really, really varnished bad gas. Always use your crowbar to remove your fuel rail, because, you know, that's what you need to do. Yeah. Oh, flinging gas everywhere. Great. It's not as bad as the gas that came out of that 93 Voyager. But I'm going to give these injectors one shot at life, and that's if they come out. I just about got all the clips off them. I lost that one just now. There it is. Come here. Still trying to not want to lose stuff in here, but before I burn this lower intake to the ground, and then this whole engine, because PB Blaster will burn like fluid film, I'm going to try pull them out and give them their best shot at living. Okay. You must spin if you want to live. Oh, that one's gonna live. That one's a liver right there. If it comes out. It doesn't come out yet, but it moved. This one's gonna come out. Okay. I can't quite rotate it with my hands yet, though. This isn't ideal. I wanted a different channel lock, but I couldn't find it, and I can't be bothered to look any harder. Oh, come on. There you go. Who's your daddy? Me. I'm your daddy. Now, if this intake would listen and follow the same steps as you, we'd be in a lot better shape. Come on. Out you go. Out you go. This one's gonna come. Come on, come on. This Caravan is testing my patience a lot. Those are the beautiful injectors, or what's left of them. As you can see, the injector pieces are still stuck in the bores, except for one, which that one came out somehow. It would have been so much easier to drop an engine into this, but it's not worth doing. You, Van, you are so vaguely very, very, very close to parts. You don't know. Granted, what kind of parts am I getting off of this? The wiring harnesses are bad. The engine's bad. I don't know if the transmission's any good. It hasn't moved in 20 years. The front seats are bad. The interior's not very good. I don't have a gray van that would take this interior. Well, yeah, I don't, because it's base model interior. Maybe a radio, some switches, keys, steering wheel, really low mile steering wheel and stuff. This thing's got cruise. It's got cruise. Intermittent wiper system. I don't know. It's got stuff, I guess. Little bits and pieces that I can throw to the side, but I just spot all those parts. What am I going to do with that? That means I got to buy another 3.0 Caravan. Oh, what a shame. I haven't given up yet, guys. I have not given up yet. Anyway, now that I don't have to worry about the injectors, I'm going to cook this intake with a torch and ruin the valve cover gaskets that'll need replaced, so I should probably get those on order too. I wasn't going to do them because I didn't think it'd fight me this bad, and they didn't have them in stock at like AutoZone or Advanced Autos where I got the intake stuff at. But I might as well get those on order. Yep. Yep. Yeah, okay, let's cook this. Let's cook those studs out of this thing.
The next day.
Yeah, she's stuck. We're gonna try one more thing here, and it's been soaking in coil and it won't move. We're gonna get the engine hoist and we're gonna wrap to this intake. We're gonna, tension it up and start just wailing on it, wailing down on it, shake it loose, wailing on here, knock it up, prying on it. Gotta come off, and then we'll, put heat to it and whatever. But it's gotta come off. I ain't giving up yet. Getting pretty close though. This one's pretty bad, and I knew that. It's bad. Like, this is worse than I figured. She's stuck good. Anyway, we're gonna pick up the hoist now. Well, this should be interesting, to say the least. Gotta find a chain or something to wrap around this intake, and then we'll just full send, and hopefully it comes off. It's coming off. I don't care how it comes off. It is coming off. I don't care if I have to start hacking up the intake and cutting all the pipes off and then going down there and slicing and breaking them free. If I have to, I will. It's coming off. I don't care. Here goes nothing. There we go. Yeah. We're lifting the engine. Of course we are. Yeah. Oh, sledgehammers. We got all the weight on it. I already have one. I already knew this was junk. Yeah, it doesn't move at all. I mean, it's got the engine up off this jack. There's the strength. Hasn't budged.
Right. I'll take some heat to it here in a minute.
Pie bar moving ain't fucking working.
Yeah, there's this.
So hopefully I can get a good slam on it.
Yeah. Alright, time to light this thing on fire again. Tiniest little gap. Okay, if you look right down here, look very closely, there is a tiny little gap forming at the bottom of the intake. This side, where we're able to hit it pretty well, has budged. Just a hair. Now what that's going to allow us to do is it's broken this free, so it'll allow penetrant to really get in there. So what I got to do is try to find a good spot to. I've been kind of trying to hit up over on this corner here, but I got to be able to hit on that side too, because otherwise what's going to happen is it's going to go like this and snap all those studs, which, save me the work of putting it back together. But yeah, I do believe it has moved. Just a little bit. Starting to get movement on this side too. I think it's gonna go. It's gonna take a lot of work. Fuck, and there goes the can.
What?
The can just fell all the way through. Alright. It's moving. Yeah, it's going. Let me spray. It's moved. This side's moving too. It's moving. I wish I could chain to more than 2 spots, but it's going. If I had a better chain, I'd chain here too and here, but we got what we got. It's moved. It is definitely budged.
I don't know about this side.
No, it's moved. I can see it for sure. That side had moved before. Oh yeah, that's almost flush now. Yeah, there's a gap. It's moving. It's going. Definitely coming up. This side right here is stuck down right here, so I need to start hitting right here. There it goes. There it goes. It's going. Come on.
This side isn't though.
I got mine. Mine's up. You stuck?
Yeah.
So we got to start hammering right here again. There it goes. Gotcha. Oh my God. Up you go. Wow, that was bad. Those studs are a terrible idea. I win. You lose yet again. Yeah. Ain't that something? Oh my. That was a pain, but yeah, hammering on both sides on top of having the hoist tensioning it, and it's finally started to go. Look at that. So we need to get these 2 studs out or something. That's another problem. And replaced, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. You get the 2 studs out, you go grab 2 new studs and just vice grip them back in. But yeah, it is out. Well, we got the rat out. Had to cut that end of that hose off, but just the very end, so should be able to reuse that. Clamped it off because it actually had some trans fluid in it. Yeah, the other hose we got off, and then it immediately snapped this line right here because it was corroded, and this one's about to do the same thing, so I might as well just break it off. That's an issue. So what we'll probably do in that case is we will bypass the external cooler, and we will just go into the cooler built into the radiator, as you can see. Granted, those fittings don't look very good, but we can always swap the radiator out later. And the external cooler, because clearly this is a problem. Or I could try splice these 2 hoses together with a rubber piece and go that way. I might go that route. Where'd I put that other piece? He's gone. Oh no, here it is right here. So I'll keep these, and I guess we could put just a rubber splice there, and that'll fix that, but it rotted out inside of this fitting there. Anyway, my next plan of attack here is to get rid of the rest of the raccoon dust. I'll pull the battery tray out, get all my intake bolts, put them away. Bolts, what's left of them. Still got to get that stud out. I've let it sit for a while. Got the hose out. Got to go do some excavating down there. Any person in their right mind would have stopped before they bought this fan. Here we are this far into it now. Look at that. That's something, alright. We'll see how pretty we can make it look. But otherwise, yeah. So as far as wiring goes, some of it's okay. Like this harness right here made out okay going like to the cooler fan. It looks okay in here and everything. Up to about here. And this is where you start to see chewed up wires and stuff. They chewed up, probably pulled this tape back right here. But, so they chewed on these wires. They didn't like chew through them. So, like that, we'll have to look closely. These are probably, some of them are okay. See, like they knot on them? Like these are probably okay. This is probably alright. Up to about here, I see some exposed copper. But then again, it's probably okay. And then you get to about here, and this is where we start to see wires missing. So we've got one end of this wire right here. Where's the other end? You know, where'd he go? He's down here. I see him right here. So we got to piece that back together. Luckily, everything's color-coded. And then there's a brown wire there. Where does that go? Who knows? Yeah. seem to be missing a few things in here. Yeah, I got the whole harness out. That harness I got is definitely not gonna work at all. They changed it and made it like a two-piece harness for whatever, when they put the fuse panel stuff in. This whole thing is one harness under here. And you clearly have to remove all this stuff, but what it's gonna make is assembly and cleaning easier. So really easy. It's gonna make cleaning everything easy, and then reassembly, we'll put the wires in first. Actually, we'll rebuild this engine for, I don't know, we'll either put the wires in first or put the engine back, whatever I feel like. I can do either of those core things, and then we can put all these little accessories and pieces back later. But I think I'm gonna take a vacuum here and get as much of the loose stuff vacuumed up. Then I think we're gonna try vacuum out the engine here, plug all the intake holes, get the pressure washer fired up, and we're just gonna blast this thing. Now that we can get in at everything, and we have, and most of the raccoon is on the ground now, it's funny, is it's been in here so long, it is dirt and hair. That's all that's left of it. Well, here's the harness. I got it kind of all spread out and unknotted. So this is up, and it's the right way. It's like this is up on the driver's side shock and everything. There's the cap plug. This goes across the top and then over to the passenger side fender wall. This goes up under. Here's about where the starter is. That's busted, and up there. This goes up around the transmission, and then here in the center is the like fuel harness, engine sensor accessory harness here. That harness looks pretty good. It needs to be rewrapped, and there's a couple that need to be cleaned up, but this harness looks pretty good right here. Up here, not so bad. There's a couple nicks and chews, but not bad. There's a problem here where the starter was. Pretty big problem. And then right here around the transmission, there's a couple disconnects. And then obviously where the computer hooks up naturally is the worst, but luckily we got this big plastic guy on here, so we've got enough wire to work with to reattach them all. And then there's this trans plug. I'm not exactly sure where he goes. I'll have to find the ends of his wires. I see there's the end right there. There's one right there. He goes in here somewhere. Yeah, there's another wire for it. He goes over here somewhere. As bad as it looks, I don't think it's that bad. I can repair that. But let's walk over here. Yeah, I got a mess here. I got to start picking up tools before I lose them. I got to get the vacuum fired up here right now after we clean up the tools, and we're going to go to town, finish cleaning this up. I want to take those hose clamps off, finish getting all of the broken pieces out. Yeah. See if we can try to break up some of that gunk down in those valves. That one's pretty clean. Well, they're sealing pretty good because they're holding the brake fluid. Yeah, they're all sealing pretty good. Well, that one isn't. This one is not. Well, yeah, it is. No, it's sealed. It's just so brown I can't tell. They're all sealed pretty well because they're holding fluid. I'd hate to take a air compressor to that and blow that out. I'll try to suck it with my vacuum. I need a new filter. It's getting pretty weak. I've taken it out and bashed it against the gravel a bunch of times. She's pretty done. But here, let's see what we can do. Earplugs on. That looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, we just cleaned them valves up nice. Oh, lost the vice grip again. Oh, all right. You guys tell me how these look. There you go. What it is, I would say there's no debris in there. That looks pretty good. That one's got some debris and carbon and stuff left in it. that would probably get burned up when it first ran, but we'll spray these two again. That one's pretty good, but that was pretty good before. How about this side? I can't really see this side, so. That one, carbon and stuff, but that's okay. That one looks okay. That one looks okay. There's carbon deposits and stuff. Not bad, actually. We'll, that middle one especially, we'll hit him up. I think we'll fill them all up again. Get that hose down in there along the edges of the valve. Here. You guys are my eyes. Just cleaning them valves. All right. How we looking? I'd say that's pretty dang good for 20 years not running. A little upside down action here. Now, before they flash rust, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a little bit of Croil and we'll just soak them. You can already see the flash rust on some of them. Make sure we don't have any of that behavior going on. It'll smoke a little bit first runs, but that's okay. There. So spray this stud down. He's fighting me. Probably have to weld a nut to him, but the valves look good. Everything looks good there as far as intake valves go. Exhaust, I don't know, don't care. All right, I did get that brake line out of there, but I've been in here. I've been taping up stuff that needs tape. Got the rags in there. Time to super clean this bad boy. It's the engine. That's what I was gonna try to. But this can doesn't wanna. There it goes. Spray. Yeah. Maybe that'll do something. Need to get that power steering pump undone too. I got him pulled down to where I can get at him. Well, there's a hint at what we're doing. I ran out of gas. But I got the back wall blown off. Getting up here, working in here. Look at that blue. Wow, what are these booger welds going on here? Quality. Better than me, so I shouldn't talk. And I just noticed I forgot to disassemble something, which should actually help us in this case. It's got this vacuum booster pinched off. Good. Wow, we're gonna have some cleanness in here. It's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna go get some more of that old gas. I'll fire this thing back up. Yeah, talk about night and day difference there. Now, I think we have an engine bay to work with here. Didn't think that was that deep, did you? I didn't either. Wow, and I still had to come in with a screwdriver and a vacuum and scrape some of the stuff off the bottom. That was packed full of everything. That was bad. It was all the way up to here. You can see the line. plus the heater hose on top. Yeah, now we got something to work with there. Transmission, looks like a transmission now. That's great. Took the rags out, sucked all the water out of these. Now I got to soak them with some Croil again. But those are looking good. Valve cover's looking good. Everything looking good. Get over here. Remember that big corrosion pile? That was all the way up here and down here. Look at this. Ah, that was a very thick corrosion pile. And look, there's more stuff here. Look at this. See, there's still stuff on here, but like we can live with that. There, look at that. I got something, gasket surface to clean there. I got something to work with here. I got 2 cams, one a lot rustier than the other. So, yeah, that is a significant improvement. I remember I still got to get this bolt out down here. Seeing that now. That's just a cover bolt, though, I think, so I don't think it's a big deal, but something to think about still. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that, and then I flushed out the cooling system. Wow, it still come out terrible and brown and dark green and atrocious, but I think we actually, pretty well got it good enough. Okay, now we got to start on some of the cleaning up stuff, getting prep. So we got to take like a Brillo pad or something to the cams here. Same with the crank. Clean all those up. Make sure they're oiled. Got to oil down these. Valve covers off. Get that surface cleaned up. Get this surface cleaned up. Get this surface cleaned up. Run a thread chaser down this. Run a thread chaser down all of these studs. I'm going to be smart and I'm going to put a bolt in here if I can find a bolt that's the right size instead of a stud. Otherwise, I gotta go get studs, and that kind of sucks. I still gotta get that stud out. That's still something that needs to be done. I need to shut the water off that's leaking. Yeah. I did get that brake line out. I gotta work on getting those other brake lines out of that proportioning valve, because they'll all need to get done. All 4 of them. In fact, the 2 that I do off the bottom are just gonna fall onto the ground because they're not hooked to anything. But, yeah, get to that at some point here. And then we got a wire harness over there that needs addressed. Then we gotta get the valve covers off this thing. I kind of want to take the valve covers off right now, and I want to see how it looks under there. I kind of want to see it. Don't you? You guys want to see the rest of the tear down here? Let's do it. And then we'll kind of oil all that down, too. Okay, let's get... It looks like these valve covers are literally just held in by 2 big bolts. So, what are those, 13s, 12s? Something like that. Wasn't even stuck. Not terrible. That's not bad. Probably wasn't the most stringent on oil changes, but that's not bad. For you. About the same. I'd say it looks pretty good, I think. Look close. Looking at the cams and stuff and the wear. I don't see any rust on the cams or anything. That wear pattern's a little funny, but like, meh. Thing looks okay. It's about the weirdest looking one right there, and I don't think that's an issue. It's not gonna be anyway. No, I think everything looks okay. I think this is still like oil. Yeah. Yeah, that all looks good. Bet I don't have the new valve cover gaskets yet. So I'll just have to set the old ones back down on it for now. But I would say that looks pretty healthy. I'd like to spin the cam over. That would be nice to just watch everything move. But we'll cross that road in the future here. Okay, so I opted for some ATF for 2 reasons. One, it's kind of a detergent oil, so it's got a lot of cleaners in it, so it'll help take care of some of this stuff as it runs through. And 2, it's the only thing I had on the shelf. So we'll kind of, you know, a little bit of oil on those cams never hurt nobody. Looks like they're oiled anyway, but we would rather have it start nice and oiled up. A little bit down in here. These rocker shafts and arms. Make sure all that stuff moves. Yeah. Be generous. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to where you were at. I was just looking at what I was doing. Yeah. Yeah, ain't hurting nobody. A little bit up in these valves where we kind of need to get oil. Man, this thing's gonna smoke like hell when it runs. But there, that's all oiled up. I feel happy about that. Kind of want to hit here, upside down view. I'll make sure I'm hitting the tops of those valves on this side. Yeah. Go down in there. Yeah. There's springs down here. Yeah. I'm running out of fluid. Whatever. There. I would say that we got that top end oiled up. Good enough for now. Okay, I got the seals dug out. Crank, front cam, and rear cam. I get a feeling that we're gonna have problems with that one if we're not careful. Yeah, I pretty much got them dug out with a screwdriver, so you just punch the screwdriver in and kind of pop it. That seal was already spinning inside that. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the wrong seal or what was going on there. But yeah, so that's an NGK for the front cam. Crank, I don't know what, NGK, and then NGK as well. Nope, those two cam seals are the same part number, I can see that, but these are junk. So, got that done. Yeah, now I'm going to find like a Scotch-Brite or something, and we'll just go over those. Because what we want to do is knock down the rust and stuff on those. It's not like all they are is a sealing surface, so we want to make sure they're good for the seal. Especially that one. The other two look okay, pretty much. Okay, this one and that one I'm not going to worry about. That one's perfect. That one's pretty good. I'm not worried about those two. This one's going to cause issues. We ended up 220 grit to knock it down with, oil. Wet sand 220, I guess. Got it knocked down as best we could. Came back with a drill pad, cleaned it up. I mean, it's rough. It's really rough, but, there's no jagged edges or anything. So I think we're going to have to make that work. It is what it is, right? Blow that seal, it'll start leaking oil. We'll know. Okay, I got this seal in and that seal in. That seal messed up. So, there's a huge cavity back there, and you can press the seal in too far. See this little bevel here? The seal only needs to go just behind that bevel. If you look here, that's how this one works. For some reason, there's a cavity behind this one, and you can push the seal too far into it, and then it spins free, and it doesn't actually seal. So, I ruined that seal getting it back out, as you can see. So, gonna have to get another one. I'll see if anybody's got one nearby. If not, I'll pick it up tomorrow. If so, I'll probably go get it. So this is done. But I want to get the water pump bolted up first, get the tensioner bolted up, get these two pulleys bolted up, and then we'll decide if we want to go get that seal. Because I'd like to try time it tonight, get that all done. You know what I mean? And then we can check all this stuff and go from there. All right, get the satisfying final spin. Look at that. Look at that. We win. Oh, that's so exciting. So, I suppose it was stuck on this bit here where it's kind of got like a flange. That's probably where it was welded to. The threads look fine. Okay, well, my phone's about to go dead, but I got a left-handed bit here. So, we'll try that and see what happens. Hey, look at that. Oh, the head came off. That's what happened. It was off. It was ready to go. So we got that side. So we'll try this side a little more. And it looks like I skipped off at the very end there, so that's good. So that's not going to help very much. I think we're pretty well. This is what I get. Hopefully I can get it off. Yeah, like that. And now, oh, there we go. That's what we got to do. It's bad. Well, yeah, that's all corroded. That wasn't going to run. But, like, you could file that. Inside here, pretty corroded. So, let's remember where we're at here. So, number 1's over here. Well, I've been busy. The phone's kind of charged now. I got the old cap broke off, as you saw. I got the bolts drilled out. I re-tapped them to the correct thread. I had to waller out the hole on the cap just a little bit to get them to fit, because I didn't get them perfectly centered, as you never will. But, you know, should be fine. It shouldn't be cocked any. It shouldn't be tweaked. She's dead on as far as I'm concerned. Then went and I hunted down the old water pump bolts that I had sorted off to the side from this van. Found the 5 of them, and then I went in the bucket of bolts I got off of the parts vehicle at U-Pull, and I found the nicest 5. I chased the threads on them. Then we put the gasket behind there, put some RTV on both sides of it because it'll need it. And then we got the 5 water pump bolts torqued down to 20 foot-pounds. And bam, we have a water pump. I got to get the cooler channel line in and the new O-ring in there. A little bit of RTV on that probably wouldn't hurt either, but we'll see. I have to see how the new hose looks. If it's not pitted or anything, I won't worry about it. Otherwise, I want to hunt down the new cam and crank sprockets, slide them on there. Kind of just snug them up, not tighten the bolts to torque or spec or anything, but look at that, shiny new parts on there. 2 shiny new parts on there. It's, we're making progress. I'm feeling a lot better now. We'll see. I want to make sure we get that sleeve and new seal on that side. That'll make me feel a whole lot better too. But I guess I'll show you there's the junk bin, what I'm working on here, or what I've got going. So this little cup here is going to be the old bolts that we will not use, because all of the hardware that came off of this van sucks, quite honestly. But I have them sorted. So as I'm coming into what's sorted in quotes, this is sorted for me. As I'm coming in to grab bolts and stuff, so I'll grab what I need, and then I will go to this bin, and I will rummage through this bin every single time and figure out what is what, and then I will grab bolts from that and then throw the old bolts in there so I don't get them mixed up. Same with like these old tins and stuff. As I come and find them, I will throw the junk in the garbage can and go from there. What was I coming in here to grab? Oh, the cam and crank sprockets. They're over here somewhere. I will grab them. There are 2 shiny pulleys on. Wow, does that look nice. Those other pulleys were absolutely destroyed. Look how nice these are. Isn't that nice? There's the alignment peg is down here, and the alignment peg has to go through the pulley and the washer, just so you know. Got the new key in that came with the yard motor pulleys because I lost the other key down in the ground somewhere. So I got that in there too. That's all good to go. Wow, it looks decent, and it's crazy actually, you know, honestly, that's crazy how much better that looks now. All right, I'm gonna get that heater hose in, which I have it set over here. Yeah, and he looks pretty good, to be honest with you. He's not bad looking. Got to swap that O-ring out quick, and we'll just go with that, leave that on. How was this hose right here? I don't remember. Actually pliable and decent. So I will leave him alone. He's got OEM clamps on it. Yep, good to go. I believe we never separated that, so we're just going to leave. Did we? We had to separate it, didn't we? I put it back together. I will pull it back apart because we're going to need to, right? I remember not wanting to, and then we had to anyway. Yeah, that O-ring, meh, that might be okay. Worry about that later. Put him in there. Take this guy out. I will pull this O-ring out. Inside the tube looks perfect. No corrosion whatsoever. Yeah, I'll get this O-ring off, swap it, get it on there, and I will bolt this up quick. Okay, got the heater hose on, both pieces on. Got the new 12mm bolts here, and the new 18mm bolts down there. A lot easier to get those on with nothing over here. Like I said, having everything out is making reassembly way easier. I found the new crank bolt and I just tossed him on there. Obviously this guy's just kind of here. Looking pretty good. Look at that. So we have repaired everything underneath the lower intake that we needed to, which is good. Got that all cleaned out. Look at that space down there. Isn't that nice? I realized I'd forgot a critical piece when I snug that pulley on there, the back cover. So I found the new cover, cleaned it up. Obviously that old cover would have never worked because there's the timing mark on it. Right there. That little guy was rusted away. Not to mention we broke off the tabs because it was rotten. That looks good there. I got those tightened down. I still just have this hand snug for now, but it's on there.
The next day.
How about that for a sealing surface? So I got the new cam seal kit in there. Our sealing repair sleeve. This is the guy that comes with it. He's not long enough, as you can see, for this cam. So I used a 1 7/16 socket. Seemed to fit over it okay. Anyway, that's on. I'm going to oil it up, clean it up, and then we're going to slip that new seal on. Benefit about this is you can't put the seal in too far with that sleeve on there because it's got a lip. I think we're good as far as I can tell anyway. Seal's a little cockeyed, but I don't think that'll make a difference. I think we're all the way in. I think we're sitting on it all right. I hope so anyway. I can't quite tell. I'm worried I'm a little too far in, but one way to find out. Alright, well that seal's gone now. Got this bracket back on, swapped this little plate out, all new hardware. By that I mean hardware off the other vehicle. That's all tightened down, got it up on this bracket, swapped this ground strap out with one that's connected still kinda. And we're ready to get the other cam pulley on. And I'll tighten these down, try to get them torqued. You have to put a driver in here or something to hold them. Get them tightened down to torque spec, and then we will go ahead and we'll get this motor timed. Alright, having good pulleys that the belt can bite to makes a whole lot of difference. So, got that old belt, and having it broke kind of makes it easy here. But I got both pulleys tightened down to 70 foot-pounds, and this is how I got them set up. Got one here to clamp it around there, and then got this one to hold the belt tight. And they didn't move at all. It tightened right up. Remember, we were having issues slipping before. Bam, that's it right there. So, now we get to do the fun part, is kind of balance the pulleys, or the cams, kind of in the center there where they line up with the timing marks. So, what we got here is timing mark here. Needs to line up with the timing mark in the case right there. And then we've got a timing mark up here. Needs to line up with this guy right here. So you can see it's got the factory, or not factory, these pulleys came off a high mile motor where somebody else has already timed it. And we also probably got to be number 1 TDC. I got to look where the timing marks are for that guy, and we will get that figured out. There's this guy right here. I'll do some reading up on this right here, and then we will get her timed, and I will bring it back when that's done. Okay, I do believe this motor is in time. We aligned that timing mark, that timing mark, that timing mark. Got the belt on, starting with wrapping it around the pulley, having one hand. I kind of use the tensioner as a tension to hold it, and then you keep tension to this side of the belt, and you wrap it like this, slowly around, keeping tension, and then the last is on here. Hardest part I had is using my 2 thumbs to press this tensioner forward, and then slipping the belt over it. Well, not, slipping anything. You're supposed to put the flange on here, but we're good. It's lined up. I'm not worried about it. I didn't want to rotate it backwards with this loose because it would slip the belt. So we just rotated it clockwise twice till this mark lined up. And you can see that this mark is still lined up and this mark is still lined up. We are in time. So that is good news. This motor is timed for the first time in probably 20 years. So I'm going to go ahead and get that tensioner bolt tightened. I did use the new bolt that we got at the yard, and I chased those threads on both the bolt and the threads, because remember we pulled a couple threads out at the end there, aluminum from somewhere. Anyway, it seemed fine and the bolt tightened up okay. We'll see how it torques. I'll be careful with it, but do what we got to do. Worst case scenario, we have to pull this back apart, hold the engine up here by something, and pull the oil pan and replace the oil pump housing, and might as well do the oil pump at that point. At this point, I do not want to do that. An 82,000 mile oil pump should be just fine. Should be. So we're going to leave well enough alone, and that's where we draw the line at do it while we're in here for now. Who knows if we'll regret that. We'll figure that out later. But for now, should be all right. Now, what I want to do before we tighten anything up, I want to pop these valve covers off. Let's make sure everything seems to be rotating okay. Let's pull these guys out so we can look at the intake valves, and we'll rotate it a few more times by hand. As I can see, I see valves open already, so that is a good thing. Okay, those all seem to move. Seems to be moving over here. Valves all seem super happy for what I can tell. Everything seems to be moving. I'm just gonna pop the camera off, do a couple more checks here while I'm looking, and call it good at that. I do think it would be good to tighten this all up. Very, very nice. Well, that might be about all the further we get. I got that thing torqued down, so that's good to go. I'm waiting on a couple of things, actually. So we're waiting on the valve cover gaskets. We're waiting on the seals, dust seals for the timing cover stuff. And I don't remember if there was anything else we were waiting on, but we're waiting on that stuff. So we can't really put this all back together. I mean, I'm going to put the valve covers and set them back on like I did. But we're kind of stuck as far as this goes. So, yeah, that kind of sucks actually. But that is what it is. I might put the covers on and kind of just loosely bolt them up. That way I have them bolted up so I got an idea where all the parts are. That might be a good idea. Otherwise, I'm going to start working on that wire harness, I think. I think that's a big one. Really got dirt and stuff on it still. And, oh, I have this rat hose. I bought a new one for Blue Van, never used it. So now I have one, so I don't have to buy another one. So I believe they're the same rat hose. It should be the same, if not, it's close enough. But I believe it's the exact same, actually. So that's cool. This bolt needs to go in the pile of bolts we're not using. And, yeah. So, I don't know what we'll do next. That'll show you anyway, but I gotta work on a couple things here. So, but we got the hard part done. The hard part's done, guys. We got past that. We survived. We didn't break off anything we couldn't chew, or bite off anything we couldn't chew. So it's looking really good, actually. I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out here. That'll run. There's nothing saying that won't run. I mean, we could have a rod knock or something stupid, but I don't think so. Sure hope not, anyway. That'll run. I know it's temporary, but that looks pretty good. Good refresher on how it goes together, too. This little bracket goes up here on this side, and it's got a little, goes through both covers here, just for reference. But there we go. That's technically on there. I mean, it's got to come back off, like I said. But it's on there, and now the stuff's out of here, and I've kind of got the bolts for it figured out. All right, now it looks like an engine. Got both intakes just sitting on there. That'll kind of keep any possible, whatever intrusions out. Clearly we don't have fuel injectors or anything in there, but that'll help a little bit. And it's not sitting in the back of the vehicle anymore. So, I'd say we look pretty good. We still got to clean that intake, rebuild it, new thermostat and everything in it. But we'll cross that road later. Look at that. Looks like a motor again. Okay, I put another part on.